Kyler Murray is not being scapegoated by the Arizona Cardinals. And even if he was, even if you were making the excuse that he was, who cares? He hasn't done enough to save his job in Arizona. Let's talk about that much more on this edition of the Ben Garcia Show.
The Ben Garcia Show. Yeah. Woo. Best show in the land. Yup. Listen. Come and get your information from Ben Garcia. Get the latest on your quarterback, running backs, and receivers. Tune in, so any other show you don't need him. Any news that he giving out, please just believe him. Giving out the latest prediction and top-notch analysis. Wanna hear the truth, better have thick skin like calluses. The latest move that your team just made can be damaging. The dudes ain't speaking no facts, they just be rambling. Lights, camera, action, turn on the show, go get the cameraman. Yeah. Lights, camera, action, turn on the show, go get the cameraman. The Ben Garcia Show.
What is up, and welcome in to yet another edition of the Ben Garcia Show. Wherever you may be listening, however you may be listening, thank you so much for making the show and myself a part of your day. We got some stuff we got to get into. We have a little bit of a shorter show today on the Ben Garcia Show. I got to get to a doctor's appointment. The wife is going to make me go. If I don't go, then I'm going to be in a lot of trouble here. And so there wasn't a lot of things going on, obviously, in the Arizona sports landscape. I've seen some people kind of start to take some days off. I'm not doing that. But I will say this. Kyler Murray yesterday posted something so stupid on his social media platforms, and it looked like this. Kyler Murray posted a TikTok video with the caption, "Weird year," and this is what it looked like. I wish I would have realized that it wasn't going to show up perfectly on my screen right here. But he posted this yesterday and put "weird year," and with all the guys, Marvin Harrison Jr., Michael Wilson, looks like this is James Conner right over here on the right side of your screen, and he put "never again" in the caption. And people are taking it as if... Now, I can't see this because I'm blocked from Kyler Murray because he is an athlete who is obviously fairly sensitive and seen some of the stuff I've said about him. And I'm blocked on all social media platforms. Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. But he posted this. "Weird year" with the caption, "never again." And it's just another reason... When talking about Kyler Murray, you say to yourself, oh, that's right. That's why we got rid of him. That's why we're moving on. It's immaturity at its finest. It is when a girl gets broken up with, when a man gets broken up with, and suddenly they become very active on social media. I just wish Kyler Murray, similar to Kevin Durant with the Phoenix Suns, would take any sort of accountability. Now, I know I'm seen as someone who's ready to move on from Kyler, but those that know how in I was on Kyler Murray for so long, and I ignored all the red flags from Kyler for so long. The fact that he's likely just a little too small to play quarterback in the NFL. The fact that he has had attitude concerns for a large portion of his career. The fact that he's screaming at Cliff Kingsbury on the sidelines, telling him to chill the F out. This is just another instance of Kyler Murray getting in his own way. This is not a, cryptic message to the Arizona Cardinals. It's, hey man, you're a part of the problem. Kyler Murray is not being scapegoated by the Arizona Cardinals. As mentioned before numerous times, you can do better than Kyler. You can also do worse. And that's a risk the Arizona Cardinals are going to be willing to take this offseason. Because at this point, it's time to try something new. And I've mentioned this before, but the idea that with Kyler Murray, you're doing the idea with Kyler Murray that it's the Well, yeah, you've only won one game since Kyler Murray's went out. You won 2 when he was in. And in the Saints game, and in the 2 games that the Cardinals won, against the Saints and against the Panthers, he was not the ultimate reason that they won those games. Both teams, led by Spencer Rattler and Bryce Young, had a chance to win those games at the end. The defense is what stood tall. Well, if Amari DiMercato runs the ball in, they likely beat the Titans. I don't disagree with you. Also, go beat Cam Ward. When things go crazy, when Amari DiMercato drops the ball short of the goal line, when Dadrian Taylor Demerson drops the interception or fumbles the interception, you are the calming $46 million presence in the room that's supposed to win those games. You could have still won those games, but you couldn't move the ball. I know, it's all Drew Petzing's fault. Really? Grow up. Jacoby Brissett's moving the ball just fine. Not to the extent that elite level quarterbacks do, but good enough. Does Drew Petzing wear some blame? Abso-freaking-lutely. But Kyler Murray does as well. And it's been a little frustrating to see how it's been handled by not just fans, but now Kyler Murray. Because he is a part of the problem. It's not just everyone else is just being mean to Kyler. It is a gross generalization to say, well, the Cardinals they're just scapegoating Kyler Murray. Really? That's what you got from this? They're scapegoating him? I can't, man. I can't with these insane logics. Well, the Arizona Cardinals are 16. The Arizona Cardinals are 16 games under 500 without Kyler Murray. They're 10 games under 500 with Kyler Murray. This weird flex that he's better than Jacoby Brissett or Colt McCoy or whatever backup the Cardinals are throwing out there is so weird. It's not the winning argument that you think it is. He should be better than those players. The problem is he better than the other 15 top quarterbacks in the NFL? And the answer is no. Is he more consistent than Jacoby Brissett? The answer is no. It's just so interesting to see Kyler Murray get the excuses that there's no shot those same fans would give Jacoby Brissett. It's just interesting, man. It's just interesting. I can't buy into this idea. I can't do it. When Jacoby Brissett's defense lets him down, it's Jacoby Brissett's fault. When Amari DiMercato lets Kyler Murray down, it's Amari DiMercato's fault. It's becoming very Kevin Durant-esque on the Phoenix Suns that nothing can or ever will be Kyler Murray's fault. And it's just, I don't know how you could live like that. Even to the strongest Kyler Murray defender, like I used to be, how can you just continue to turn a blind eye to everything? Subliminal messages on social media are what girls and boys do after they get broken up with what they thought was the love of their life. That's what they do. They don't, you're not a professional football player calling it a weird year and saying never again. Because odds are it's going to happen again. Because Kyler Murray's got problems I don't know if you can fix. But we'll see. It's so frustrating. It's so frustrating. Jacoby Brissett doesn't have, Marvin Harrison Jr. likely again this weekend. Didn't have him, for 2 weeks before. Marvin Harrison Jr. got hurt in the game the other day. James Conner's been out. The right side of the offensive line is terrible. And he's played way more difficult opponents than Kyler has. It's just like, it's like Kyler Murray fans don't even believe their own arguments. Well, he beat the Saints and the Panthers. Congratulations. Congratulations, man. Both teams aren't going to make the playoffs. Wild. Absolutely wild. So we got a game against the Rams this weekend. And as mentioned before, Marvin Harrison Jr. isn't practicing. That's awesome, right? You know, your number 4 overall pick that I begged everyone to take Joe Alt over. He's not practicing. He's got a heel concern. And he's got a heel concern, and I'm looking at the practice report right now to see what else is on there because I saw yeah. I got it right there. We still don't know if Trey Benson's going to play. Like, if Trey Benson doesn't play this weekend, he's not playing at all the rest of the year. Kyler Murray obviously isn't there. They're not opening up these windows. Like, God, man, what's so frustrating about this game is it doesn't matter. I can't lie to you. I can't sit here and tell you that this game matters this weekend, and it's incredibly frustrating. Do you remember, for the first weeks of this season, we'd have 30-plus people in here watching live, but people are checked out. We've got 6 people in here watching live, and I don't blame them. How are you supposed to be up to date with this team when things don't matter? Marvin Harrison Jr. is likely out. What's the point of rushing him back out there? The defense is going to be fully together again. But in reality, what we're doing is we're looking ahead to the Falcons game. And you're basically saying to yourself, you got to lose that game. But Cardinals got the Rams this upcoming weekend. We'll see what it looks like there. But Matthew Stafford is going to be a good litmus test for this Cardinals defense. And Devontae Adams and Cooper Kupp, like, I've got to be on, or not Cooper Kupp, what am I saying? Puka Nacua. This is going to be a really good litmus test for the Arizona Cardinals defense. Unfortunately, it's the absolute worst time to get the Los Angeles Rams. You'd rather get the Rams when they are flying high and susceptible to being knocked down to your level a little bit. Because the Rams were flying high. They had just beat the Seahawks. And then they play the Carolina Panthers in a hurricane. And the Panthers win that game. And now the Rams are going to be coming out for blood. They're going to be coming out for vengeance. They're going to be coming out with their hair on fire. And it is a incredibly, incredibly bad recipe for the Arizona Cardinals. If they lose this game, whatever, it's happened before. But if they get blown out in this game, that would then be a third game where the Cardinals got blown out by an NFC West opponent. The second one being at home. Seahawks blew them out on the road, and the Niners and Rams would both have been blowing them out at home. If that happens, I don't know if Jonathan Gannon can save his job or any of the coaching staff. Because if you get blown out 3 times by your 3 NFC West rivals, that might magnify just how far away you are from the rest of the NFC West. And if that happens, you are in some serious you-know-what, man. Some serious you-know-what. Because as stated before, injuries are only an excuse when you don't have the quarterback right. Look at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Their whole team is injured. It doesn't matter. They've got Baker Mayfield taking care of it. When you're talking about matchups, the most interesting thing I'll be looking at this weekend is Will Johnson and Garrett Williams against Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams. Because Devontae Adams and Puka Nacua have both been awesome this year. Devontae Adams, especially in the red zone. And this is maybe the best receiving duo they are going to see all year. You've got T. Higgins and Jamar Chase coming up later in the year. That might be better. But Puka, Devontae Adams, can you stop those guys? Can you limit them at least to an extent? Because one of the things I didn't love about last week is it felt like the secondary, not named Will Johnson and Garrett Williams, were kind of having a little bit of a rough time. And, with the fact that they've got those two guys, Devontae Adams and Puka Nacua coming up, can you be able to limit them a little bit? Can you limit Matthew Stafford? Because the Panthers defense did it. They found a way. And this is why you pay Jonathan Gannon the big bucks. This is why you pay a defensive head coach to come in to a largely dominated offensive division by Kyle Shanahan and Sean McVay. Do you have the defensive bandwidth like Mike McDonald has to slow down the Los Angeles Rams offense? It will say a lot about Jonathan Gannon. Or does Sean McVay walk in here and eat your lunch? Does he? Does he? Because if he does, and the Cardinals get just ran through on their home turf on Sunday, I don't know if Jonathan Gannon can save his job. I don't know if Drew Petzing can save his job. Hell, Nick Rawlis, who I really like, I don't know if he's going to save his job. You cannot be ran out of your own stadium 3 straight times. You lose close, you can chop it up to it was Jacoby Brissett versus Matthew Stafford, an actual scapegoating there. But you can't just walk into there for, you can't just walk into your home stadium, getting the Los Angeles Rams, and just get absolutely throttled at home. Will Johnson, Garrett Williams, they're going to have their hands full with Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams. This Cardinals pass rush, can you make life difficult on Matthew Stafford? Can you? Truthfully, can you? Because the offense at this point, we know what it is. And I would have loved to seen Marvin Harrison Jr. this weekend against what I think are cornerbacks for the Los Angeles Rams that lack some physicality. But you got Michael Wilson again. And those two guys, Wilson and McBride, can absolutely feast against this secondary. But this game could get turned on its head in an instant because of the same reason it did against the San Francisco 49ers and Los Angeles Rams. Bad offensive against the San Francisco 49ers and the Seattle Seahawks. Bad defensive miscues, poor offensive line play, and playing from behind. I expect the Rams to come out with their hair on fire and to play this Cardinals team with a reminder to everyone else that that we're still the Rams and we're that good. That we're still the Rams and we're that good. After coming off of a fairly embarrassing loss to the Carolina Panthers last weekend. My guy in the chat, him University 24. And if you guys have questions before I go, I will answer them. So let me know. If you got any Arizona sports question, I'll answer it. Him University, this is about to be belt to ass. It might be, man. It might be. It might be something where the Arizona Cardinals just get absolutely throttled. And it could be the last stand for Jonathan Gannon. I don't think you can get beaten up by your division opponent in a embarrassing way on your home turf again. That will amplify just how far away this team is. Because right now, man, it feels like a insurmountable gap. We'll take some. With that being said, guys, I think the Cardinals lose this weekend. And unfortunately, I think they lose by like 17 points. My guy Zach in the chat, Sun's getting it done tonight. Man, I apologize. Oh, that's not right. I didn't plan to talk any Suns today. I got to get to a doctor's appointment, so I can't stay super long after. But are the Suns getting it done tonight? Probably not. Like, if we're being realistic, probably not. Right? Let's not try to say, well, with their heart and hustle, they'll beat them. Sure, you need some shot makers. And without Devin Booker, who, even if he's not playing well, his gravity that he takes from the opposing defense, where they'll send two guys at him, that's going to be tough. That's going to be tough. So I think it's closer than it was last time because Dylan Brooks is homecoming to Houston, but it's just a hard way to try to win. With that being said, guys, appreciate you guys being here. I gotta get to a doctor's appointment. Hit that like, share, subscribe button. Follow me on all social media platforms at Ben Garcia Show. We'll be here on Monday at 8 a.m. recapping the Arizona Cardinals' hopeful victory over the Los Angeles Rams. Or we'll be talking more about, positioning and all that stuff. My guy, DEJ Recon in the chat. I'm not even a basketball fan, but the Cardinals had to be switched to watching the Suns. Hey, man, you're watching a team that cares a lot then if you're watching the Suns. Appreciate you guys being here. I'll talk to you guys on Monday at 8 a.m. And it's been the Ben Garcia Show. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, follow me on all social media platforms at Ben Garcia Show. And I'll talk to you guys then. Stay safe.